Hi, I'm Ron Polk, and this is our new Toad. A Toad, a T-O-A-D, is slang for a towed vehicle, T-O-W-E-D. The reason we chose this as our Toad, the Honda Element, as opposed to another vehicle. We shopped for a lot of different vehicles. I went on the RV sites, did a lot of searching. First, we eliminated any of the sedans or those kind of things. We wanted a all-wheel, four-wheel drive, and we wanted more of an SUV type vehicle. Jeep is a great one, very popular Toad. A friend of ours has a beautiful one that's just a couple years old, nice four-door Safari version. We drove it quite a bit and really loved it, just too heavy for us. And so the two-door version, which would have been in our rate classification about the same weight as this, was too small. It was a two-door, and there just wasn't any room behind that back seat. It just wasn't functional for us. And additionally, we're a one-car family. My wife and I share a car. Now, I do have an F-350, and that's a work truck. Occasionally, it's used personally. I put 1,700 miles on it in 24 months. So it just doesn't get driven. It's a work vehicle, and it's big, and the tires are expensive, the brakes are expensive. So we are a one-car family, so whatever we chose as our Toad was going to not just be our pull-behind, but it's our everyday rig. So we've got to like it, we've got to enjoy driving it, we've got to be comfortable driving it. We started eliminating the ones that wouldn't work for us, and I just really like the style of this. This is really a funky vehicle, and I'm a big Volkswagen nut. If Volkswagen made something like this, even if they were identical, I'd have it just to have the VW logo on it. Since I was a kid, I had Volkswagens. My wife and I have had a number of them, and we love Volkswagens. We just think it's funky, and it fits us, and it's who we are. They make a really neat orange one and a really neat green one, and again, that's our personality. A lot of people like this. We hate this color, and when this one came on the market and we went to look at it, we didn't know what color it was until we got there, and we just both went, but everything else met our needs, so we went ahead and purchased it, and it's starting to grow on us a little bit. But when we bought it, we both looked at each other and said, you know, we got a friend that did a full wrap on a car, and it turned out gorgeous. We'll just do a full wrap. So we may do that in the future and get the color we want. Now, in purchasing the Element, that was really tough, because once I filtered down to what I wanted, there wasn't as many available, and they sell instantly. They are in such demand, they sell for more than they did when they were new. We made an offer on two different ones with two different dealers, a Honda dealer and a Ford dealer, and we actually said, we'll give you full retail. We were turned down twice, and we had 4 go away before we could get to them. They were selling so quick. We knew that, you know, we were going to have to adjust to the reality that we were going to pay more for a used Element than they sold when they're new, and that was just the way it was going to be, because at the end of the day, this was the only vehicle that we were willing to buy as our Toad. My wife sends me a link to an Element that came onto the Auto Trader. It had no pictures. It happened to be local. Immediately I picked up the phone. It's not been detailed, so we'll give you a call when it's already looked at. Absolutely not. I'm coming down right now to look at it. Honda of Seattle had the same thing. We got one in, it was the orange we wanted, and said, okay, well, we'll come down. And said, no, it's not ready. And so we set an appointment 3 days hence. I got a call from the salesman, and he said, I'm sorry, it's sold. With that experience, I told this salesman, we're coming down right now to look at it. I don't care if it's not detailed. So it was dirty. It was bought locally and only had 49,000 miles on it. That's what overrode the color. We drove it, sat down, and we said, well, how much do you want for it? Because they hadn't even decided on that. They came back, and they were on the lower end of book. Wrote a check. We did the paperwork. From when we said that, we were out of there in about 30 minutes. I really like the 4-door that they've put on this. So it's not a full opening back door, but the back seats have lots of room. Opening it this way, we have a huge amount of space and access, a lot better access than if we had a 4th door, you know, that opened and we could only get in each door. The back seats are comfortable adult-sized seats and plenty of leg room. This thing also works as a van, because these seats here lay flat and then pivot up to the side. And just by pulling a lever under each one, you can just pop the seat out completely. This is a lot more space than the CR-V has. So what I want to do is put a shelf that just sets in there, and these will sit on top of that shelf, and I'll be able to then use the underneath for a photo gear. And with this tailgate, it gives me a lot of extra room. We knew that no matter what element we ended up with, it wasn't going to have what we wanted in the head unit or the car stereo. With this day and age of working with your phone, your smartphone, Bluetooth, backup cameras, that we knew that since it was 2011 was the newest, we knew none of them would have that. And so we had planned on putting in this unit regardless of the element we got. What we like most about Apple CarPlay is that we can use our Google Maps or iMaps, and we don't need a GPS. So we could buy this exact unit. It would look no different, and it has the Garmin GPS maps in it, which is a really nice system. We really thought about it. But we use our iPhone so much in the RV, and it has a GPS, so we don't use it. So we were able to save $600 on this unit, and the only thing we gave up was the GPS. So I've given you a tour of our Toad and why it's the best Toad for us. Now I'd like to ask some advice. If there is a good synthetic automatic transmission fluid, I like something that would go in there, you know, when we're driving it, it would do its job and lubricating everything and coat everything nicely, so that as we're going down the road and the pump isn't running, that the transmission is just in neutral, that it would have some protection. A synthetic oil, I hear they're better. I hear they help lengthen the life of an engine. Is there a filter? Are there differences in filters? Should you just use a Honda filter? Is there an aftermarket that's better? I wouldn't mind running a couple of tanks of gas and putting in some additive that, you know, really cleans things up. In the comments, I'd like to see a dialogue there, and I'll respond and maybe ask questions back. But I know that you folks will freely share that information. I'll look forward to it. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Have a great day.